Hi, it's David here with Futures Trading. I'd like to welcome the newest subscribers here. I know on the last video I shot, we was at 155, and that was in that welcome. Prior to that, though, we were at 145 there. So a bit of an uptick there. Again, thank you for coming on board. We're trying to build a community of professional traders. We've got a lot of traders here, but they're not professional. We want to make sure we're exercising the etiquette of caring and being polite towards people that's in our profession. Really important that we do that. And of course, you're here by fate because I did not purchase any likes, subscribers, or comments. Want you to know that. So if you don't mind, align yourself to that goal and let's make sure that we care about others and get some more people here that actually needs the information and want to be professional because that's the main goal of the channel. Want to establish a community of professionals, people that actually care. That's all. Of course, you can have the experience. That's not what being professional is all about. It's also dealing with ethics. So we want to make sure we implement the ethics. And I know there's at least, I want to say there's at least six of you now that will commit to liking the material, even though you already know it. But before doing so, let's take a look at, I want to look at something real quick. If you don't mind, just spare me a moment. Now, I have made, yes. All right. So I have made this video here. All right. So the channel is all, let me tell you this. The channel is all about universal price action trend. If you win, it's this. So if you're new to the channel, if if you're trying to win with your trading, I want you to know you found the right place. Just want you to know that universal price action method. If you win, is this. And then I'm trying to give you an objective way of looking at your chart scale, just your screen, right? What's in front of you. All right. And if you're going to win, of course, that's going to be a part of it as well. Now, when it comes to countering the market, this is really what I want to touch on here. When it comes to countering the market, I want you to see something. There's a lot of participation here for that type of activity. And I want to explain to you a correlation and what's going wrong with your trading. I just want to help you out just a little bit if I can. Again, I'm a professional trader, been doing it for many years. I want to help you see something. And I want to do it in a way that you may not have ever considered. And it's really simple. It's always the simplest stuff that gets us, I can assure you. It got me for years until I figured out what was happening. And the longer I stared at the chart, I was like, you know what? You're doing the same thing. I felt just really crazy. I'm glad I was in the room by myself, but I just felt really crazy. I would have been embarrassed if anybody else was sitting around me and they would have saw what my face looked like when it dawned on me. All right, so really important. But look at how many views we're getting for trend failures. So everybody want to go the other way. That tells me you're trying to step in front of the market. Now, this is something I want you to see. New to the channel, yeah, I expect that to be there. I do, because there's people that, of course, may, not know much about trading. They want to learn it. Or they may have already experienced a little bit of it, but still not all that familiar with it. I totally get it. But this is the one that's really interesting. Ever wanted to quit trading? Don't. You see the uptick there? And I purposely made this channel for people that may feel like, hey, I've been at this and I just can't get it to work. Can't get it to work. So I wanted to give you a universal approach. And we're going to look at that word more intently. But there's a parallel here. I hope you see it. All right. There's people that's having a hard time or they're new, but there's a lot of people that want to counter trend the market. I don't think that everybody that's trading currently that's successful with trading is doing this. I don't. I think it has something to do with this. All right. Now the numbers will tell it, and that's why I do what I do here. I even show you over time, every time I pull up the video. I don't know if you've been following me for any time, but if you're new here, this is what I've been doing since I've been on the channel. I would put this in front of us, okay, futures trading, so you can see the subscribers, kind of keep up with the development of the channel. So you can see, the numbers. I want you to see if it's growing, see if it's worth taking a moment, spending some time combing through the information here. And hopefully you're able to do that. I don't give you any enticing intros. I don't do any of that. If you click on that welcome video, it absolutely would explain to you all of that. You know what I mean? In great detail and kind of let you know why I'm here. And so I just want you to see the development so you can keep track of the numbers. You can see for yourself. We're trying to establish a community that's the foundation is all about caring. So you don't have to quit because we care about you. But what I'm finding that's really interesting here, out of the numbers, okay, out of the numbers and of course the content that I'm disclosing, There's not many people that's willing to be professional enough to support the content. I don't mind having traders follow me. I just want professional traders to be on board as well. I don't want a lot of non-professional people following me. I just don't. I'm be honest with you. I don't, because I'm trying to build a community where it's our efforts that's going to get other people that needs us to come here and be embraced by the information. We want to make sure that when you get here, you absolutely will feel safe, that you can go back to your charts with a level of confidence and know that you'll be just fine. You're going to have your losing trades. Absolutely. You're going to have you may have a losing day. I don't think you will, for the most part. I'll say it like that. Just depends on how much you keep pushing and pushing and pushing. Yeah, you can end up with a losing day. But if you approach this very conservatively and take your time, you can almost go for a long while without having a losing day if you take your time. You got to take your time. I'll say it now. But yes, you're going to have losing trades in doing this. You will. It's an automatic. But it would really be important to have people, at least a fraction of what's here. I would say, maybe a good consistent 10 people that would absolutely make that commitment and say, hey, I like that we're growing this community. Because I can assure you, and I promise you this, it's universal and it's priceless what I'm offering to you. It's priceless, and I know it. I've been using it for many years. I can assure you it's priceless. That's why I won't spend not a single dollar on trying to deceive you, first of all, to give you an impression that there's something here that's not. I'm not going to put money into something that I know is priceless, that will essentially it'll grow itself. Here's the proof. It'll grow itself. It'll grow itself. The word gonna get out, and before you know it, again, it will become something that's normal. That's all. It'll become normal. And so I that's a bad decision. I don't want to make bad decisions. And so I want you to understand something. The whole reason why I'm saying this is because everything that we're going to talk about with the chart deals with decisions, deals with a thought. And so I don't want you to make bad decisions. To me, a bad decision would be me trying to promote something that's priceless. The two don't go together. If it's priceless, then you can go back and survey some of the information that's online. Some of these channels with almost a million views and so many, and here's the interesting thing. They'll have like a almost 100,000 people following, but they don't have nothing but 200 likes or something. That's a little weird. Now I know, again, I got just a few likes, but I don't have those kinds of numbers, and clearly they should be, at least into a thousand likes, clearly. And here's another thing: public's opinion. You get thousands and thousands of people following you. I guarantee you, one person gonna not like your material. Guarantee you. I'm waiting for it here, actually. But I try to present information. This is really important. I try to present information that it's not something of argument. You can't argue it. It'll be right in front of you. Something that is visible to us all. That it's not my opinion. It's something that you can absolutely see. All right. So really important. I really want the professionals here. If you're a professional and you deem yourself to be one, please show a level of concern for someone else. Some people need some help. It's right in front of us. It's right in front of us. There's people that need help. Let's go ahead and get this done. Again, we've been doing a pretty good job here. Again, you can look back on each video here. We've been kind of doing right about 10 followers a day. So there's at least 10 people that's coming on board. We want to do just a lot more. So those that have been coming on board, think about it. If we've been getting at least 10 people joining us for at least the last 4 videos, that's 40 people. So there should be at least I would say 5 of you that would start liking the material as well, even though you may not even know it. Just like it, because you're here by fate. Someone cared. So do the same. All right. Really important that you do that. Now, let's get into some material. Just wanted to kind of draw that parallel so you can see why people may be having a bit of a hard time with trading, and also just really need to exercise the level of what they would want for themselves. That's all. And so I put this target out this morning. It's not to say they're gonna come back and get it. They can come back and get it tomorrow. But I don't want you to not. I do want you to be aware of where they're going. That's all. So they're going up clearly. but they may want to lean back over come tomorrow because I know the price action is a tad bit slow right now. And so they may lean back over tomorrow and come back and get it, or they may try to do it today. I don't know. But I'm not going to look at the daily chart. We're going to look at the 1 minute chart, and we're going to talk about some of this information here. Clearly, that's a downtrend as of right now. We had an uptrend this morning. 9:30 came in right here. At first glance, no sooner you pull up the chart, you should know what's happening. And if you don't, I'm explaining to you why it's a downtrend. We're going to talk about the information that's on the chart, and I'm not going to be before you long. So we got 1, 2, and they all have to close lower. 3, 4, 5, 6, and that is 7. So they can go the distance of the 7. So let me do this. Yep. So let's do this. They can go the distance of the 7. And so let me just measure this one more time here. And I'm going to do something like this. Then we're going to talk about some of that information that's on this chart. And then we're actually going to look at a 15-second chart because the 1 minute is just a little too large for the amount of time that I plan to be on here. So we're going to actually go down. But I am going to put this here. So when we come back over here and just take a quick peek before the video is over, we'll take a quick peek and see that it make it all the way to where it's suggested to go. All right. So let's see if it can get there. Now I'm going to go ahead and talk about some of this information. I'm going to kind of slide this out the way if you don't mind. People have no idea what a professional knows. They have no idea. All right. I want you to understand this. The key giveaway is the effortless evaluation of any chart. I don't know if you've been paying attention. If you're new to the channel, I suggest you go back and look. Mostly all of my videos, I'm using one chart, a 1 minute chart at that. And so I'm not doing a whole lot of fractal alignment, giving you a whole bunch of different time frames. I'm not doing a lot of that. I don't even care what the daily doing, to be quite honest with you. It means nothing to me. And I'm gonna explain to you why. But I do cover the daily occasionally because we have people that clearly may not just trade, intraday. So they may swing trade a bit. So I try to make available some information for them. And so that's why I do that occasionally. Here, that's all we've been covering, the daily and the 1 minute for the broader, I guess, the broader time of having this channel on. So time is a trend. Just going to touch on this really fast. Time is a trend. The most important part of it is that it's irreversible and it has chronological significance. All right, really important. Participation. We are participants in the market at time, but we are not the participants. But action is a part of our framework. So we have thought minus time because we can see the end. And so there's no time. We put it in time and then we get our outcome. Okay. But we cannot control it, but we trust the function of how it works. We do exercise the fluid intelligence, and that's a function of the mind. And it deals with kind of like all of this is the ability to think abstractly, reason quickly, and problem solve independently of any previous acquired knowledge. Now, this is important when dealing with real time. Now, the market, all right, the participants create outcome. They create the outcome and they have designed the function to ensure that that outcome will absolutely show up. Now, the market is just like us. The origin of the market, all that up and down cyclical activity came out of the mind of an individual. So we need to align our thoughts with what it is that's happening. The market is a fluid function. I promise you that. All right. It's fluid. See, we have fluid intelligence, and the market is fluid in its function. The market is a transactional. Now, this is me telling you this. The market is a transactional environment with the interconnected function to transform. Now, you can go look at the word transform, and I can assure you it's really important that you know what that is. But I'm gonna just go ahead and say this to you. Every relationship is transactional and transformational in some sort in your life. Now, either you're influencing people by transforming them in a positive manner, or you're not. It's just that simple. Or you're just transacting where you're doing business, and that's all it is. But for the most part, that's what you got going on, and the market is doing both, and it's connected, it's interconnected. So when you transact, buy or sell, is actually transforming how you feel and think about your position. It's affecting your mind. It's involuntary, and there's nothing you can do about it. I just want to help you with it. And so I don't want you to feel sad, depressed, frustrated, disappointed, regret, any of these negative emotions that tend to plague us when we make the choice that we make and we cannot control the outcome and we don't get the desired result. I want to help you see why that is. The most important thing you would need to do is align yourself with the participants so they can ensure your outcome. Really important that you do so. Relevance. Now, this is a key word is the concept of one topic being connected to another topic in a way that makes it useful to consider the second topic when considering the first. Now, identification and real time. Now, that's what this does. All right. Real time identification. Okay. It deals with this. So there's a relevance there. And we're going to look at that relevance, I promise you, and we're going to pick it apart. Now, the indicator that I have just records it historically for reference. So you don't have to like comb through the chart and kind of drill into it and see is it exact where the mid, was above the high? Okay, was the mid of this bar above that high? Or was the mid of this bar beneath that low? So it kind of does that for you. But in real time, we're going to take a look at how to do that. And it's only going to take a few minutes. All right. So now yeah, so we covered all that. Great. Now, buying and selling is happening on all anything in blue is a part of that function. Buying and selling is happening on all price levels. Universal, here's the definition. It's very simple. Applicable to all cases. So if you're going to build any kind of edifice, I don't care if you're a builder or architect, you will need a level. If you're someone at home just trying to build a doghouse or a birdhouse for that matter, guess what? You're still going to need that level because you're going to make sure that it's a balanced, structure that you're building. So you're going to want to apply universal concepts when it comes to the market because it's happening on all price levels. So you're going to want to apply something that can be applicable to all cases. Procedural knowledge relating to an established or an official way of doing something. Related to an established way of doing something. I want you to know that. It's really important. Now let's take a look at this 15-second chart. This is available to you. This chart scale is available to you along with the static levels and the ranges. All right, now I got the ranges up here too. They're kind of like back here. I just don't have the static levels. Let me go find the range for you. All right, so there's that range. All right, so that's this morning's range. And the price line is kind of compressing the information, but there's this morning range. The mid of that range, which is that hash line, as well as this hash line here. That's the overnight range. They rallied off of it. And you, again, can have that template. It's absolutely free, as well as the chart scale and the static levels. You can have all that information sent to you. Now, it's only for a limited amount of time because I do not want to have to. It's like going to my mailbox every day. I'm not doing it. So I'm not going to wake up every day for the rest of my life checking my email just to make sure I send you a free templates. I'm not doing it. That's work, and I retired, and I do not want to keep doing that. So I'm only making it available until May of next year. That'll be a year, kind of like year and date since I've been online. So I'm going to give you all the turning points. And again, if you don't know what they are, you're more than welcome to take a look at that information on the channel here. I'll find it for you so you'll absolutely know if you're new. So the trading guide. So all of this, trading ranges, static levels, and the chart scale, I'm giving you all three of those templates for absolutely free. You don't have to do nothing for it, but email me using the email below the video and let me know you're interested. Or if you want the indicator, if you want this out, if you want this indicator, you absolutely can have it with the bar color, the levels. They actually have like seven functions, and I'll throw in a volume indicator because you're going to have volume text associated with these bars too. I'll throw in a volume indicator that reads the volume in real time, and then that way you'll understand the volume text that'll show up over the bar. You already know what it should be by the time the bar closes, all for a very small cost for the indicator. Now, again, the chart scale, the ranges, the statics, you can have that for free, absolutely free. But the indicator, I'm gonna need you to just show a token of just a token of effort there because it took me, well, actually, it took me a little bit of effort to create it because it's just not, something that I enjoy doing. To be honest with you, I'm not someone that enjoys coding. I don't, but I wanted to have indicators that reflect the way I trade, and I don't trust other people's information because for one, they're not going to factor in your risk tolerance. That's number one. Or the way you want to enter trades. They're not doing that. And so you may want to get in something fast. You may want to, of course, be a little bit more conservative. And it may not have to do with risk. It's just how you want to get into the position. So I just made my own. And I got a ton of price action indicators that I made once I learned how to do it. But again, I just wanted to, create something that I wanted to create for myself. Now, It's not, again, my appetite to have done it because I actually I like speed chess and reading dictionary and encyclopedia, and coding just don't align with that. So it's a little outside the scope. So that's why I would like a little effort shown to retain the indicator. And of course, there's so many other indicators that I have, and it's actually a part of some other indicators that have that filter, have a filter built in with this information here. So I'm kind of breaking it off and giving you a piece of it, which is what you're seeing in these videos. Now, this price action method here, okay, this price action method here show up on any time frame, any market. You just want that thicker black line to fall beneath the low of the bar, or the high of the bar for that matter, or the high of the bar. Don't matter which direction you're going. It's a real time thing. It's all about making sure that what I'm identifying in real time is dealing with this function. So I want to identify it in real time what that function is. Because again, they're the participants that's going to create the opportunity, the outcome, and ensure that it will happen. Really important. So I have never, and it's nothing wrong if you've done this, I've just never done any back testing. I've never done any journaling. I never drew up a bunch of charts before the market started moving. I've always done forward testing with real money. So again, if that's something you've done it and you're seeing results with it, keep doing it. Don't want to take you away from that, but I don't do that because I look at the market based on thought. And so when I pull up a chart, the first thing that I'm doing, this is just me telling you what I do as a professional, I don't want to ignore the person that's in the room. Wrong thing to do. I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody that can successfully ignore someone with power sitting right in front of them, talking to them or conveying a message to them, and have the power to affect your life in a very negative manner. Just totally disregard them, act as if they're not there, and expect to walk away with all of their ambitions and dreams and everything they wanted for themselves to come true at the hands of this other individual. I have never seen it happen. So if the market is talking to me, I want to make sure that I'm available, I'm present, and I'm right there listening. And the problem with most people when they trade, the first thing they want to do is take a lot of historical data and build their opinion of the market and totally disregard what they're doing currently in real time. That's why the success is not what it should be. I'm not saying back testing do not work. That is not what I'm saying. You can take today's activity, go back and take a look because that's what this indicator is doing. It's just holding on to some historical, information for reference. That's all. So you can do that if you want. I just been really keen on just wanting to make sure that I'm reading it based on what it's doing right now. That's all. That's the only reason why I haven't done no back testing ever in my life. And so again, it's because I've read things in my life that has made sense. And again, I'm not some guru or nothing like that. I promise you, I'm not. I'm just a simple fellow that just took a little bit of notice of something that's been working for me, and I want to share it with you. Now, I don't want to ignore the market. I don't want to ignore the market. I ain't writing down my experiences with the market because I don't relish. I'm not a stoic. I just don't relish in an experience in the market that may not have yield what I wanted. I don't relish in that and just get in there and just get lost. And I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it because I know that I can't control my outcome anyway. I already know that. And so, and this is something I accept and I encourage you to do so, is that it's not that you're wrong. I mean, you can, when you have the thought, you kind of envision, where you want to get out at. Like here, you taking, let's say you sell it, and you're going to target about at least here, right? Or you may say right here, or maybe I'm suggesting it to you, and now it's on your mind. Or maybe you're someone that's going to buy it, put your stop right here, and you're targeting right here. You have the end in mind. So when you first make your decision to want to do something, pull the trigger. Clearly, here you can't control what happens after you pull the trigger. But the market, now here's the thing I really wanted to push in front of you. The market can control what happens. That's what the participants had in mind, whether it was one individual or collective, a collective group of minds coming together. They had in their mind that they was going to ensure that their outcome was going to always be positive, for them. And so that's why you don't want to ignore the person that's sitting, or the participants that's sitting right in front of you, because the market is it's actually somebody's thoughts at work. And that's all. And so you'll want to listen to it. And I want to make sure that you can understand the identity of what the market is. The market is actually a mind. It's not all about open highs, lows, and closes. I argue that that's really not what's happening. It's just another choice and decision that needs to be made, just like every other decision that you make in your life that you're confident about. Watching a video, being confident that you may learn something, or going to work, or interacting with your spouse, friends, anything of the sort, going on vacation, whatever it is that you do, that you make a choice and you believe that, hey, I'm good and I really, really, going to enjoy myself and everything's going to be just fine. You do that and you trust in its function. And for the most part, it always plans out, but not here. This is not how this stuff works. And so I try not to plan without them. That's all. So in an uptrend, you can see there's that 7 bars here. Remember, we did that 7 bars on the 1 minute. I'm gonna just kind of do this really quickly, and then we're gonna dive into that pattern a bit more. I'm just kind of throwing some information at you for you to consider, because I am going to be leaving this month, and I'll be just doing occasional uploads after December, just occasional here and there. One, two, three, four, five, six, and there's 7. Yes, so they can go the distance of the 7. That'll put them there. So congratulations if you thought to go long. We're almost there. Now, because it's beneath the center of the chart, it may want to go down. It just may. Now, let's do our let's do the broad stroke of it. Let's do the broad stroke of it. Let's see if this no, that didn't get there. Now let's go up here. Let me see. We're gonna do it broad stroke. No. All right, so let's do this. Now, here's the problem with this, if you ask me. This is just the problem with this. It can't get but so high, because then we're getting away from the center of the chart. Now, yes, this absolutely works. So if we're doing no other time frames, no none of that, just kind of just going with this one, this mid of this run is below this pivot in here, as well as this one. I kind of really wanted just beneath this one, to be honest with you. And so, in my opinion, they're here. But if you're going with this one, they're absolutely right here. So, but we know it don't supposed to really get above here if the plan is to get back down. That's not what it's supposed to do. Now, it can definitely land up here if they don't plan to go past here. It's going to come back down here, and then it probably play off the backside, and then it's going to take a drive to the downside here if they don't want to break that pivot. All right, so it's trying to turn, but you got the participation bar sitting right here. You can kind of see how they pulled up, so they can do that. Now you can do it with single bars if you want. I don't. I'm just giving you a preference of mine of how I, pick pivots or whatever. That's just a preference of mine. Now, all right. So now let me tell you. All right. So the black line is falling beneath that low. Remember, it's all about real time information. This bar will turn red. That's the no close. There's the hard stop. Here's the no close level here. The mid is right at that low. Let's see if it can get beneath it. If it does, this bar will turn red as well. The sooner it comes in, the better your chances of working. They're hitting the participation bars here. Here's the lower half of the chart. That kind of lines up. They may want to come back up a little higher. Let's see if they'll turn back around and fall. Will they break this, then come back around? I don't know. But I think they'll land down here somewhere and then probably pull up, play the backside, and then come down some more. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what happens. But it's all about real time, and you got to use something that's universal. That's really important that I tell you that you need something that's universal that can read it in real time, because it's applicable in all cases. It's happening on all price levels, and it needs to be something like the doctor. When he operates on you, or anyone for that matter, that has the same problem, he's going to do the same thing over and over and over again. So it needs to be procedural. That's what it needs to be all the time. Okay. Really important stuff. Just want you to know that. Absolutely want you to know it. And it's fluid. And so we have to use fluid intelligence. So there shouldn't be a necessity to have some prior knowledge of the information. Shouldn't be a necessity. Like we need to just kind of be right in the moment with what's happening. Let me get that other chart. Remember here, that previously acquired knowledge, problem solving independently of any previous acquired knowledge. So I don't need to know how many pivots, well, what pivot and how many times it hit it. And I don't need to draw, a bunch of lines on my chart and have a journal, do a lot of back testing. I don't have to do all of that. Professionals don't need that stuff. I have, professionals have a level of knowledge that's just, again, it's not that beginner knowledge. That's all it is. It's a level of experience. That's what it is. And then of course you want to be professional with the ethics. That's the other part. See how they landed right here. And they may lift up, hit the back of here, and then they drop down. You want to have a level of understanding that's beyond the beginner. That's number one. And then you want to be polite. That's the other part. You want to possess the etiquette of being polite and kind to others. That's really important. Okay, so there they go. Now let's go check our other chart and see did it make its distance. And I would absolutely let you go. Let me see here. Gotta get it. Gotta get it. All right, so there we go. Let's see if it made it. Yeah, it's right about there. Yeah, it's right about there. And they may again be headed to that target. Let me put that in front of you just in case they don't make it there. Right now, you may want to grab it. So that's down at 40. All right. So I wish you all the best with your trading. Take care.